你聽緊乜？你究竟知唔知道 ？You know what's up？ 打少最新嘅主導 ，What's going on？ 同埋 Super Me 嘅態度，我嚟解釋 Hip Hop 最叻嘅頻道。Yo, what's good, everyone? Good afternoon. How you doing? Welcome to the new episode of You Know What's Up. Today is actually the 30th episode, so already I can't imagine, I can't believe that it's been 30 pieces of this already. You know, I started this almost 2 years ago, right? And I didn't realize that it's come this far, you know, and I think this actually gives me a good time for me to do a little bit of a reflection of my little journey over the last few years in starting this channel. I've got a fair bit of idea of what I'm doing, and at the same time, through the chats with rappers, homies, and all the others in producing and doing music, or actually doing Hong Kong hip hop, also really where can we move forward from this? Definitely, I felt the last couple of years the market and genre of hip hop has been vibing a lot around town, right? So what I really want to do today is to have a little chat about, you know, where I think the market's at, where I think the Hong Kong hip hop scene has been, and how do we actually spend more time or actually invest time, money, effort to it, because you know, I've been hearing words and people saying to me about, okay, well, Hong Kong hip hop is well known overseas, right? Through my last 3 years experience, we've got literally shows and mini shows and cypher and rap battle once every 2 weeks. You know, you jump onto Instagram, there's always something hip hop going on, whether it's music, whether it's the culture, whether it's, like I said before, rap battles and cypher, which I've been to a few last year, right? And more importantly, I think there's more rappers, there's more experiment, and there's more people actually promoting the culture. Now, obviously, I've spoken to some of the bigger names in the culture right now. You know, the noble Fergus a couple of months ago, and also PetPetShawn, and even through talking with them, right, you can tell that they're very optimistic about what they're doing, and obviously they're really hardworking as well with the indie labels that are actually popping right now. And more importantly, also the underground scene, or the not so well known scene, people are actually experimenting, trying to work with getting brand deals, and also trying to actually drive the culture. And more importantly, I think there has been I've noticed more brands being actively interacting and promoting and sponsoring. Well, I think, and I love to actually see more, right? Whether it's investing the culture within Hong Kong. I mean, Vans held a little old school block party down in Central, right, at the Fringe Club. I think that's great. You know, and the Red Bulls got their own dance competition at the end of this month, street dance, right? So that's hip hop involvement, and elements as well. 2 weeks ago, I sat down with a couple of young kids that are doing hip hop bands as well, right? So trying to get involved with the community, get involved with different entities to raise the awareness of the culture. But I think the key is really hoping more on the funding side of things, right? You know, I love to help to elevate those who are trying to, one, build a name for themselves, but secondly, also trying to get some kind of monetary reward as well. You know, in this hard work, given how tough or challenging the current business environment is right now, why not give rappers a try to create pieces of content, right? When I say content, I don't mean just do the standard advertising post kind of shit, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about building stories, building storylines, and actually creating communities through whether it's social media or physical engagement, right? So then there's a lot of, I guess, personal stories that can spawn from working with rappers or working with those who are in the hip-hop culture side of it, right? Everyone's got their own story. And how do you use those stories to actually tell and work through your brands or products or services to try and attract more audience, whether you call it maybe the younger audience in town these days, right? And I think that's one thing. But the other aspect is, I always say before, hopefully there will be more collaborations between Hong Kong rappers or Hong Kong R&B artists or rappers with people from other parts of the world as well. Even speaking with these guys throughout my interviews or even off camera, not just talking about being hard working, but really creative as well in terms of their messaging and in terms of the way of how they obviously usually work, play, showcase their own internal creativity as well. I think this is really important, right? Each individual actually are able to project their own interpretation of what they want to do, and it's way more than just saying, oh, let's just copy Travis's style, or let's just try a little bit of paper cardio, right? It's really about how have they actually channel these and then create something that are out of their own, right? You look at some of the bigger projects that you've seen from Logan Fergus this year, right? And a couple of others. So it's really taking how I feel. Definitely more than what you would probably get from a mainstream artist in Hong Kong these days, right? The creativity alone, to me, it's very attractive. And then when I'm saying attractive, I mean it's actually vibing, right? It's not just the boring old storyline of doing a 4-minute video about love song and shit, right? Nothing wrong with love song, you know what I'm saying? But when PetPetShawn did this a little, like a diary kind of style mini stories with a couple of his songs before, right? It's raw, it's real, and people fuck with it. I think that's the key. There's definitely room for Cantonese rap or Cantonese hip hop to actually reach a lot further than where it is right now or where it has been. For one, Fergus went and did shows in the UK and also in Canada the last couple of months, right? And I think more importantly, it's actually not just so much in creating these exchanges, but actually allowing the West or the outside world to feel what kind of hip-hop punk offers, right? I would love to create a weekly page of all the events that are happening in Hong Kong from a hip-hop perspective these days, right? And it's actually a lot easier to create a Hong Kong Canto hip-hop rapper playlist on Spotify or whatever your preferred music platform nowadays, right? Whereas before, it probably what harder, right? Because there's more players in the game, right? When there's more players in the game, it means that there's more competition, but I think it's a good thing because it allows more noise to be generated and more voice to be heard by more than just local, right? And then from a local perspective, like I always say, right, it's more about when you hear the actual meaning behind what they're saying, it's actually quite deep. And I was spoken to a couple of promoters as well, right? They're all doing their own thing, and which is great. But the problem is everyone's starting their own little sort of fire of creativity, right? It doesn't help for someone who doesn't know the scene in Hong Kong from outside to have a aggregated place for them to see, oh, this is always happening in this amazing city of ours, right? So if there's a way that I can engage or collaborate or participate in a bigger program to link up all these different elements together through brand deals or through engagement or performing opportunities, let's get it, man. How do we keep or maintain or run this to be a culture that is long lasting? And I think I mentioned to someone before as well too, though the last 2 decades it's been sort of on and off, happened for a few years and then sort of die down or slow down, then the culture sort of we start again a few years later. But I think there's a bit more continuity since during COVID up until now and further, right? Been craving for motherfucking, more rappers from the US to come to Hong Kong. I mean, and then Complex Con and a couple of the bigger entities have done a great job in controlling Savage, I think last year, and then Metro and Cradle this year, right? But you can't maintain or sustain the culture by having these international crossover, a big element once or twice a year, right? How do we now take this big piece and grow it to another bigger piece, linking up with also R&B music as well, like I said before, reggae and also Afrobeats. How do we make it sustainable to keep going. 2 years ago, when there was the What's Good Award, that was really amazing, right? And it's tough and it's hard to do another one again, right? But that's the key. How and what do we need to do to make it happen again and make it happen consistently, year in, year out, or month in, month out, or week in, week out, That's something I hope that we'll be able to build over time. Let's get the party going on, man. Till next time. See ya.